There's a slot machine on the casino floor right now that's about to pay out big. And if you know what to look for, you could be the one sitting at it. I spent over 10 years as a casino floor supervisor tracking machine performance and payout data. Today, I'm revealing the 5 signs that indicate when a machine is primed to pay. Sign number 1. High coin-in with low payouts. Coin-in is the total amount of money wagered on a specific machine. Every bet, every spin adds to the coin-in total. Coin-out is the total amount of money that machine has paid out in wins. When coin-in is significantly higher than coin-out, that machine is accumulating money. It's taking in far more than it's paying out. Machines are programmed to hit specific payback percentages, usually between 85 and 95% depending on denomination and location. If a machine is set to 90% RTP, it must pay back 90% of all money wagered over its lifetime. Here's the key insight. If a machine has taken in significantly more than it's paid out, mathematics demands a correction. Not because the machine is due, not because of karma or luck, because of programming. Let me give you a real example. Let's say a dollar machine has had $5,000 wagered on it today. That's the coin-in, but it's only paid out $3,000. That's the coin-out. That machine is currently holding 40%. But if that machine is programmed for 90% RTP, it's running 25% tighter than its programming over the long term. Over time, over thousands more spins, that machine must pay out more to reach its programmed 90% average. As a supervisor, I would see daily performance reports showing each machine's hold percentage. Machines that were consistently holding 15 to 20% above their programmed rate were flagged in our system. We'd watch these machines because we knew big payouts were mathematically coming. Now, here's what you can observe as a player. Watch how long people have been sitting at a machine without winning anything significant. Notice if a machine has been busy for hours, but you haven't heard any bonus triggers or jackpot celebrations. Check if the progressive meter has been climbing without resetting. If a popular machine has been cold all day, probability says it's getting closer to a hot cycle. The math always catches up. I watched this pattern dozens of times. One specific example stands out. We had a Buffalo Gold machine in a prime center floor location. Over 6 hours on a busy Saturday, that machine held 18%. It was supposed to hold around 8% based on its programming. I knew from experience that this kind of deviation doesn't last. And sure enough, that evening, that same machine paid out 3 bonus rounds within 30 minutes to 3 different players. The math caught up. It always does. But here's the important caveat. This pattern works over hundreds or thousands of spins, not 20 spins. If someone just sat down at a machine 5 minutes ago, it's not ready yet. You need volume. You need sustained play with sustained losses before the mathematical correction becomes probable. Think of it this way. If a machine needs to maintain 90% RTP over 1 million spins, but it's currently at 60% RTP over 5,000 spins, those next few thousand spins are going to be weighted heavily toward payouts to bring that average back up. The more extreme the deviation, the more dramatic the correction will be. Sign number 2. Near-miss frequency increases. Near misses are when jackpot symbols appear just above or below the pay line, or when bonus symbols land on 2 out of 3 reels, but not all 3. These are almost wins that aren't wins at all. Now, let me tell you something that most players don't understand. Near misses are programmed into the game. They're not accidents. They're not random occurrences. They're psychological tools designed to keep you playing. Game manufacturers program real mapping to create near misses at specific frequencies. This is legal. This is standard practice. But here's the interesting part. The frequency of near misses can indicate where a machine is in its payout cycle. Before a machine triggers a bonus or big win, near misses often cluster together. You'll see bonus symbols appearing 2 out of 3 reels repeatedly. You'll see scatter symbols landing just off the pay line multiple times in a row. It's like the random number generator is circling around the winning combination. Manufacturers program this intentionally. They build tension before payouts. And as a supervisor, I noticed this pattern constantly. Machines showing excessive near misses on our surveillance cameras often paid out within the next 100 to 200 spins. We'd actually joke about it in the supervisor's office. We'd say a machine was warming up when we saw this pattern on the monitors. Here's how you can spot it yourself. If you're seeing bonus symbols appear 2 out of 3 reels repeatedly, that's a sign. If scatter symbols keep landing just off screen or just missing the pay line, that's a sign. If wild symbols are appearing in clusters but not quite completing winning lines, that's a sign. Don't walk away when you see this pattern. Sit tight. The machine is mathematically approaching a payout event. Now, let me explain the technical reason this happens. The random number generator cycles through billions of possible combinations every second. When it's approaching the threshold to trigger a bonus feature, near misses statistically increase. The machine isn't teasing you. It's not trying to trick you. It's mathematically approaching a programmed payout. The RNG works on number sequences. Certain number ranges trigger bonuses, certain ranges trigger near misses. And when the RNG is cycling through numbers adjacent to the bonus trigger ranges, you see those near misses pile up. It's a mathematical side effect of how the programming works. But I need to give you an important caution here. This sign works best in combination with other signs. Don't chase near misses alone. Set a limit for yourself. If you see near misses for 50 spins and nothing hits, reassess. Don't pour unlimited money into a pattern that might take another 200 spins to complete. Let me give you a real example I witnessed. A player was on a Buffalo Gold machine experiencing near miss after near miss, bonus symbols appearing on reels 1 and 2 but not 3. Gold buffalo heads showing up 2 at a time but not triggering the feature. I was watching on surveillance because I recognized the pattern. 12 near misses in 40 spins. I've seen this before. I knew what was coming. On spin 47, the bonus triggered. The player hit over 150 free spins with stacked multipliers. Final payout was $2,800. The near misses weren't random. They were indicators that the machine was approaching the trigger threshold. Sign number 3. The machine just paid someone else a modest win. This is going to sound counterintuitive. Most players avoid machines that just paid someone else. They think, that machine just paid out, now it's cold. This is completely backwards for certain types of machines. Many modern slot machines are designed with what we call cluster payout programming. When one bonus hits, the probability window for another bonus stays open briefly. These aren't cold cycles. These are hot streaks, and they're programmed into the game intentionally. Here's how it works. Volatile machines, meaning high-variance games, are designed to pay in bursts. They don't pay out steadily over time. They accumulate, then release, then accumulate, then release. Medium-sized wins often precede larger wins during these burst cycles. The math model behind volatile slots is designed this way deliberately. Instead of distributing wins evenly across all playing sessions, the game concentrates wins into shorter windows. This creates excitement, big win stories, and the perception that the machine can pay big. As a supervisor, I saw this pattern constantly. A machine would pay a $200 to $500 bonus. The player would cash out and leave, happy with their win. And then the next person would sit down and hit even bigger within the next 100 spins. We'd actually shake our heads watching this happen. The first player would walk away thinking they got lucky and should quit while ahead. But they left right in the middle of a hot cycle. They captured one burst from a cluster of bursts. This pattern was consistent on specific machine types. Buffalo Series games like Buffalo Gold and Buffalo Grand, Lightning Link Series, Dragon Link, any game with stacked wilds or progressive bonus features. Games with volatile math models cluster wins together. So here's what you should do. If you see someone win a moderate amount, let's say $200 to $800, and they cash out and leave, jump on that machine immediately. Play for at least 50 to 100 spins to see if the hot cycle continues. But set a stop loss. If you don't see any action, any bonus triggers, any significant wins in that window, move on. Don't chase it indefinitely. Why do players miss this opportunity? Psychological bias. They see a machine payout and think it must be done. There's a fear of losing what the previous player just won, but the random number generator doesn't know or care what just happened. If the machine is in a favorable cycle, that cycle continues regardless of who's sitting in the chair. The RNG doesn't reset after a payout. It doesn't say, okay, I paid out, now I need to collect. That's not how the programming works. The burst cycle has a duration measured in spins, not in payouts. One payout doesn't end the burst. Multiple payouts within the burst window, are expected and programmed. Let me give you a specific example. I was supervising the floor on a Thursday night. A Lightning Link machine paid $650 to a player in a linked jackpot bonus. The player was thrilled, cashed out, left the casino. 30 seconds later, another player sat down at that same machine. Within 30 spins, the linked bonus triggered again. Won $200 payout. I saw this exact pattern at least twice a week during my time as supervisor. At least twice a week. It wasn't coincidence, it was programming. Now, here's an important distinction. This applies to modest wins, not massive jackpots. If a machine just paid a major jackpot, $5,000 or more, that machine likely is resetting and entering a cold cycle. There's a big difference between a $500 bonus and a $10,000 jackpot. Know which one you're chasing. Major jackpots often do trigger a reset in the cycle. The machine has satisfied its variance requirements with that one massive payout, and it typically enters an accumulation phase afterward. Sign number 4. Progressive meters at critical thresholds. Progressive jackpots are jackpots that grow with every bet placed across linked machines. Some are local progressives, linking just the machines in one casino. Others are wide area progressives, linking machines across multiple casinos, or even multiple states. But the progressives I want you to focus on are called must-hit-by progressives. These are the exploitable ones. A must-hit-by progressive has a specific cap. For example, a machine might say, must hit by $500. That means the progressive jackpot will trigger before it reaches $500. It's guaranteed, it's programmed. Here's the key insight. Most must-hit-by progressives trigger between 80 and 95% of their cap. If the cap is $500, it will almost certainly hit somewhere between $400 and $475. Very rarely does it hit at the extremes, either very low or right at the cap. As a supervisor, we maintained spreadsheets tracking progressive hit history. We recorded every time a progressive triggered and at what amount. Over time, we could see clear patterns. Specific machines would consistently hit at 85 to 90% of cap. We tracked this data because it affected player behavior and floor traffic. But you can use this same information to your advantage. Here's why this is exploitable. Expected value shifts positive at certain thresholds. Let me explain what that means. Let's say you're playing a slot machine with a must-hit-by progressive set at $500. The progressive meter is currently showing $150. At this point, your expected value is negative. The progressive still has $350 to grow before it's guaranteed to hit. You'll likely spend more trying to hit that progressive than the progressive is worth. But if that same progressive is showing $490, your expected value shifts dramatically. You're very close to a guaranteed trigger. The math temporarily works in your favor. You only need to cover $10 of growth before the jackpot must hit. Professional advantage players hunt for these situations. They scout casino floors specifically looking for must-hit-by progressives near their caps, and they camp on those machines until the progressive hits. Here's which progressives you should target. Must-hit-by jackpots that are at 95% or higher of their cap. Local progressives where you can actually see the meter and track it. Mystery progressives that are at historically high levels based on your observations. Avoid wide-area mega progressives like megabucks. The odds of hitting those are astronomical, sometimes worse than lottery odds. You're better off with local must-hit-by progressives where the trigger is guaranteed within a specific range. Here's how to use this sign strategically. Scout the entire casino floor for progressive meters. Take notes on which ones are near their caps. Calculate whether the expected value justifies your play. If a $500 progressive is at $498, that's absolutely worth playing. You're risking maybe $20 to $50 to win $498. That's positive expected value. If it's at $150, move on. You'd likely spend $200+ chasing a $500 jackpot. Let me tell you about a time I used this knowledge myself. Our casino had a bank of 10 machines with a must-hit-by progressive set at $1,000. Over months of tracking, I noticed it almost always hit between $920 and $980. Never lower than $900. Never higher than $995. One evening after my shift, I noticed the progressive was at $965. The math said it was close. The historical data confirmed it. So I played. 90 minutes later. The progressive triggered at $977, I won $977. The math was right, the data was right. This wasn't luck. This was informed gambling based on observable patterns. Now, here's some advanced strategy. Track progressive hit history yourself over multiple casino visits. Some machines have very predictable patterns. They always hit at 85 to 90% of cap. If you document this over time, you gain a significant advantage over casual players. Some advantage players actually share this data with each other, building collective knowledge about which progressives are worth playing and at what thresholds. They create shared spreadsheets and communicate through forums or messaging apps. But I need to give you a serious warning. Don't pour unlimited money into a progressive just because it's high. Set a bankroll limit based on expected value. If you're spending $200 chasing a $500 progressive, you're not playing smart. Even if the progressive is at $480, the expected value might be slightly positive, but not enough to justify a $200 risk. Do the math first, always. Sign number 5. Time of day and floor placement changes. This is the most controversial sign, so let me be very clear about what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. Casinos claim they don't adjust machine payout percentages based on time of day, and this is technically true. In most jurisdictions, casinos cannot change RTP settings remotely or on the fly. It requires physical access to the machine, gaming commission approval, and extensive documentation. So no, casinos are not tightening your machines at night and loosening them in the morning. That's not what I'm saying, but what casinos do adjust is machine placement on the floor, and this is based entirely on performance data. This is what I was directly involved in as a supervisor. Here's what actually happened. Every morning, management would review overnight performance reports. We'd see which machines paid out too much and which machines held more than expected. Machines that were running hot, meaning paying out more than their programmed rate, would get flagged. And then we'd move them. We'd physically relocate hot machines to less visible locations on the floor. Why? Because a hot machine in a prime location costs the casino significantly more money. If a machine is already paying out more than expected, and it's in a high traffic area where lots of players will find it, that multiplies the casino's losses. So we'd move hot machines to back corners, near restrooms, in low traffic sections. We weren't changing the settings. We were managing placement strategically. And we'd do the opposite with cold machines. Machines that were holding more than expected would get moved to prime center floor locations. High visibility, high traffic, maximum profit. If you see a popular game suddenly appear in a weird, out-of-the-way location, there's a reason. It probably paid out too much somewhere else, and management moved it to reduce exposure. Now, let me address the time of day question. We did notice patterns in our payout reports related to time, but not because machines were programmed differently at different times. The pattern existed because of player volume. During busy times, machines cycle through their programming faster. More spins per hour means machines hit their programmed payback percentages more quickly. More players means more total spins, means faster progression through the mathematical cycles. We noticed that certain time windows produced more jackpots and bonuses than others. Early morning, between 5 and 8 a.m., machines had accumulated overnight play from third shift players and graveyard shift gamblers. By morning, many machines were mathematically primed to pay because they'd been through thousands of spins overnight. Late afternoon, between 3 and 5 p.m., the lunch crowd had built up volume on machines throughout the day. By mid-afternoon, payouts would start clustering because machines had cycled through enough spins to trigger their correction phases. These weren't guaranteed windows, but supervisors noticed these patterns in reports over months and years. Patterns are real even if they're not intentionally programmed. They're side effects of volume and mathematics. So here's how you use this information as a player. Walk the entire casino floor, not just the main aisles. Check machines in low traffic areas. Note which machines are new to specific locations. The best machine on the floor might be hiding in plain sight near the back bathrooms, because that's where we put the hot machines when we wanted to reduce their visibility and limit the damage they were doing to casino profits. Let me give you a real example. We had a popular Wheel of Fortune machine that was paying out way too much in its prime center floor location. Over 1 week, it held 4% instead of its programmed 9%. Management was furious. That's an 80% payout rate when it should have been holding 91%. So We moved it. 3 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. We relocated that machine to a corner spot near the back exit. Low visibility, low traffic, problem solved, right? Not quite. An Advantage player I knew noticed the move. He'd been tracking that specific machine for weeks. He knew its location, its performance, its patterns. The next day, he found it in its new location and played it for 2 hours. He hit 3 bonus rounds in those 2 hours. The machine was still in its hot cycle. The move didn't change the programming, it didn't reset the cycle. It just changed who noticed it. That player made over $1,500 because he paid attention to placement changes. He understood that floor moves were signals of machine performance, not random decisions. Knowledge is your only edge in a casino. Check out this video where we cover the slots casinos regret putting on the floor. Drop a comment with which sign you've noticed. And remember, play for entertainment, not income. Until next time, play safe, and I'll see you in the next one.